Emotional manipulation in debates or conversations involves using feelings, yours or others, to avoid engaging with evidence, logic, or substantive arguments. While emotions are legitimate and important parts of human decision making, manipulation occurs when emotions are deliberately weaponized to shut down rational discussion or force agreement through guilt, fear, or sympathy. Claiming you don't care about affected people is a particularly common tactic that questions your character rather than engaging with your reasoning. Someone might say, if you oppose this policy, you clearly don't care about children, workers, or families, rather than addressing your specific concerns about implementation, effectiveness, or unintended consequences. This tactic is manipulative because it creates a false moral test. Either agree with their specific solution or be branded as uncaring. It ignores the possibility that you might care deeply about the same people whilst having different views about which approaches would actually help them. Using extreme examples to shut down discussion involves presenting the most dramatic or tragic cases as if they represent typical situations or as if they invalidate all other considerations. While extreme cases can provide an important perspective, manipulation occurs when they're used to prevent any discussion of complexity, trade-offs, or alternative approaches. Emotional blackmail through "if you really cared, you would" statements attempt to control your behavior by questioning your commitment to shared values. This creates artificial moral pressure to agree with specific positions rather than engaging with the reasoning behind them. Playing victim when challenged on facts involves responding to requests for evidence or logical clarification with emotional distress, claiming that asking for support for their claims is somehow hurtful or oppressive. This shifts focus from the substance of their arguments to their emotional state. Exploiting guilt, fear, or sympathy inappropriately means using genuine emotions to avoid accountability or rational discussion. While these emotions often contain important information, manipulation occurs when they're used strategically to prevent critical thinking or honest evaluation of evidence. Maintaining emotional boundaries doesn't mean becoming cold or dismissive of genuine feelings, but rather learning to engage with emotions appropriately while still insisting on substantive discussion. Separate emotional appeals from logical arguments by acknowledging the emotions while still asking for evidence and reasoning. You might say something like, I can see this issue affects you deeply, and I share your concern for the people involved. Can you help me understand the evidence why this particular approach would be most effective? This validates emotions while still requesting engagement. Don't accept false moral tests that claim disagreement with specific policies or approaches means you don't care about the underlying values or affected people. You can care deeply about outcomes whilst questioning whether particular methods will achieve them. Acknowledge emotions without abandoning reasoning. By recognizing that strong feelings about important issues are normal and appropriate, while still maintaining good intentions require good information and sound reasoning to translate into effective action. Set limits on emotional escalation. When discussions become dominated by emotional manipulation rather than substantive engagement, you might say, this is clearly an emotional topic for both of us. Can we take a step back and look at the evidence together? Recognize when emotions are being weaponized by paying attention to whether emotional appeals are being used to enhance understanding or to shut down discussion. Legitimate emotional expression usually coexists with willingness to engage rationally, whilst manipulation typically involves emotions as substitutes for reasoning. The goal is maintaining appropriate empathy and emotional engagement whilst refusing to let feelings be used as tools to avoid honest discussion of complex issues.